Hi, we're at the Mecca Fitness and Bodybuilding and Gold's Gym in Venice Beach. This is Rob and I'm Joe with InstructionalFitness.com. Today Rob is going to be handling some exercises that we refer to as our senior exercise and conditioning specialist, and I'm going to be playing the role of a senior citizen. So with that, Rob, I'll let you go ahead and take it over.
Okay. One of the complaints that we get sometimes from older clients is they say, well, gee, I'm having trouble lifting the grandkids. This is always a problem because it's lower body muscle and it's low back muscle, and this is where we have people telling you, I'm getting such a pain in my back from carrying the grandkids around all the time. So that's an area that we want to try and strengthen. Again, we want to try and invent an exercise that's going to be similar to the actual activity of lifting the grandkids. Okay. If I was working with my senior here, I'd be saying, now, show me how you lift your grandkids. Give me an example of what you do when you're picking up little Jimmy.
Well, I would actually pay the babysitter to do it for me. So if I was going to do it, I would probably just lift the grandkid.
Okay, ow, 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 ow. Okay, that's the trouble waiting to happen.
He didn't say anything.
Yeah, he didn't, but your back did.
Okay.
One of the things you want to be careful of when you're trying to lift is you want to make sure that you lift mostly with your legs. Okay, if you're just bending from the hips, that puts all the pressure on this low back, and that's why you're having low back problems. The other thing you don't ever want to do when you're lifting little Jimmy is you don't want to be lifting and twisting to bring him up. You got to be real careful. So this is essentially, the move I'm going to teach you is what we in bodybuilding call a deadlift. Okay. It's real simple, but when it's done properly, it's very safe. When it's done improperly, big time injuries can occur, so we're going to be very careful. Okay. So we're going to start first of all without using any weight at all. We're going to take this away.
I think that's why we see so many patients come in the hospital, elderly patients with back problems.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, they don't think, just like myself, I just reach down and grab it. They don't think before they do it, and the back goes out.
Lifting the grandkids, lifting the groceries out of the car, lifting the bag of cat food or the kitty litter, any of these types of things. These are relatively heavy weights for older people. A grandkid is going to weigh 25, 30 pounds, maybe 35, depending on how much you're feeding the kid.
If you're just bending over directly, that's a lot of
If you're doing this and you're rounding that back, you're going to be in trouble.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is, one of the things I tell my people is sometimes I'm a hands-on trainer, so I'm going to be poking and pulling Joe here and there, showing him, okay, I want you to flatten this out, I want you to lift this up. Okay. So if you were lifting something from down off this bench here, what I would want you to do is I'd want you to bend your knees and approach it from a bent knee position. Now keep the low back straight, don't drop the head forward, and keep this chest up. So go ahead and drop like that. There, now grab, touch the bench, and then come right back up. There you go.
All through my legs, basically.
It's all through the legs. You're using the muscles of the legs instead of rounding out this low back. You don't want to go into this position. You want to keep this position while you're lifting. So you got to basically push those hips forward, tuck the pelvis under, and keep this low back nice and flat.
So kind of like my upper body is basically a hook.
Exactly.
It's just stationary and everything else is through here.
Everything else is through there.
Now, is it that the legs are that much stronger than the upper body?
No, you've got a lot of strong muscles in the upper body, but the problem is when we get into certain positions, what we do is we go into what's called a compromised position where there's a greater risk of injury. So there are proper ways and improper ways to do all the lifts that you do. The stronger way, the way that, because you're keeping the body more in alignment is what's happening. So when I go into a position I'm trying to lift like this, look at how out of alignment I am. The weight's out here, my back, yeah, exactly. I've got tons of pressure on that low back. So what I want to do is I want to get in this position and I want to use those legs. So it's really more of a squat than anything else. Now, I'm going to demonstrate for Joe how we're going to lift the grandkid. Grandkids are about that tall, so we put a weight on the bench rather than trying to go all the way down to the floor as we would in a sports or a bodybuilding or a powerlifting deadlift. Okay, so as a grandparent, what I would be doing is I'd be grabbing my grandkid right underneath the shoulder blades here. What I can do here is I can kind of grab here and grab here. Now I'm going to lift and bring him in close to the body and then get a hand underneath, because that's how you carry the grandkid, is cradled in that arm right there, then with another hand right in the back, so it's right close to the body.
So notice, Rob, if I can interrupt, you waited till you had the baby up here before you moved the arm under, so you're already stable in that position first.
I'm stabilized, I come up, and now I can lean, I can keep the baby there and then slide underneath, because I've got it supported with my body weight. If I try and do it here, I'm going to drop the kid on the floor.
That's all the twisting you're talking about.
Exactly. Yeah. So
so
go ahead.
Again, legs bent like you said.
Legs bent. We're going to go down like that.
So we
lift up, pull it right into the body, and
lean back.
Get a hand underneath.
Like that.
There you go, nice and secure. Yeah. Now when we do it that way, no risk to the body. Everything's nice and tight.
And putting them back down, would you go same way?
Putting them back, same way. What I'm going to do is bend the knees, slide him on down, and set him down.
I think some of the older people, at least talking about males, they have an ego thing.
Oh.
As we get older, we don't want to admit that, you know, we lose strength. But there's such a difference. I mean, this is only 25 pounds, but you know, as you get older, 25 pounds adds up, it gets heavier and heavier. And just by lifting like this, compared to with my legs, the weight felt like nothing when I used my legs.
Yeah.
So it's a big difference. I think no matter what age you are, using proper technique is going to prevent an injury right now or 5 or 10 years down the road.
We're always trying to use the muscles to make them stronger, and we're trying to prevent injury. That's the main thing.
Okay.
So the easier we can make a lift, the better off it is for us, for the grandkids, for everybody.
Got it. Okay. Good. So remember, if you're going to lift the kids, use proper technique. Don't be gung-ho by just getting the baby up and doing it on your own. Take your time and make sure you have the right stance and using all the right mechanisms as far as what your body should be at, using the right muscles. You're using your whole body, not just one muscle. So plan it ahead of time. Don't just go up there and bend down and lift them up.
Yeah.
I think by doing that, you're not going to have a risk of running injuries.
Exactly. Now, if I wanted to really work on the lower body for somebody to gradually strengthen over time, this is the functional move. But we can also do an exercise type move. Or I might grab a 10-pound plate and I might instruct the client, now what I want you to do is come into a squat and lift and squat and lift. Now I'm not going into a big range of motion here because I've got an older client. If I was with a younger client, I'd have them squat all the way down and come all the way up, and I could get in that position eventually with an older client. But if I have someone in their 70s, it might just be a simple, I'm right here at the level where I'd be lifting my grandkid, and I got a little baby who's maybe, you know, year and a half old, and we're just going to go wee like this, like you're playing with the grandkid, just having a good old time. That way, grandma or grandpa can play with the baby. So again, exercise is designed to help everyday function.